to Gwen's Business Corner with Deonta B. Genius Talk Edition.
Yes.
Hey. So, we're doing Genius Talk today. We haven't done it since last year. This is our first Genius Talk for season 3, and we are so excited for our guests that we have here today. But before I tell y'all who our guests and let them introduce themselves, let me tell you a little bit about Gwen's Business Corner with Deonta B. We're a multimedia platform where we have a live and televised talk show. We also have red carpet exclusive interviews at events, and we also have entertainment and business blog on our website at www.gwenbusinesscorner.com. And then in 2019, I'm spinning everything. In 2019, we'll be adding podcasts to our platform, so make sure you check us out. And we're doing our Genius Talk edition tonight, and that's where we go in and we bring in some professionals in a certain industry just to chop it up with them to see what's going on in the industry and to make sure, because at Gwen's Business Corner, we want to make sure we keep you educated. What is that profession all about? So, I'm excited. Welcome, y'all.
Hey. Welcome. It's just PR. Look, her name. So we call them publicists. You know, some of them go by, brand manager, go all kinds of names. But I'm going to call them publicists today. And I'm going to let each one of them go down the road because you're sitting next to me. You're going to have to start first.
Not a problem.
Okay, so tell them who you are. Sure. Tell them about the name of your company, and then let them know how long you've been in the industry.
Sure. So my name is Lillie Mae. My agency is the Lillie Mae PR Agency, and I'm also the creator of Glambitious. I've been in the PR world for over 10 years. I started at Universal Motown in New York and made my way down to Atlanta, so it's been a long journey.
Okay, now.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Alright, hey everybody, I'm Bentley Didier. I'm senior publicist and CEO of the Bentley Didier firm. I've been doing public relations since my sophomore year of college, and that was 2007. One of my first projects was Rich Boy, throw some D's on it. So I was young and ambitious, and I'm here today, work with quite a few people, and these are my colleagues, these are my peeps.
All right.
And I'm Aleesha Carter. My company is KAC Images and You. I have been doing PR, just celebrated 11 years with my company. 11 years.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Deidre Palode. I'm the founder and senior publicist of Maylee Media and creative It's Just PR. I've been doing PR since about 2010 when I started out in college, but I've been in the media industry since about 2006, 2007.
Okay, now. So, all y'all got about a decade, a little change. That's awesome.
I know, we got a little spirit.
We got a little spirit. We ain't even got no newbie. We ain't do this right. We supposed to pick that newbie.
Yeah, we did.
So, you guys must have got a newbie. All right, so let's get started because I want to hear what y'all got to say.
I'm almost scared of her question. I'm like, because she keeps emphasizing it. I'm like,
all right, let's start out with this question because this is the top question. So, y'all are publicists. A lot of people have a misconception of what a publicist really is and what they do, right? So, I want y'all to tell, in your own words, from your own perspective, what do a publicist do? What do you get when you're hiring a public relation firm? Anybody jump in.
Just jump right in.
Don't let us call y'all out now.
how about we sum that up? Jeez. Because we can go on and on. Well, obviously, public relations is the whole entity of what you're referring to. PR, acronym, just public relations. And then, of course, publicity falls into that. Public relations isn't really just one area. I mean, to sum it up, we do a lot. We are the liaison to both mediums, put it like that.
Okay.
Internally and externally. So, just for example, if we took you on as a personality, we would be the liaison to the world, basically, for you. Keep you getting exposure in the media, the digital sphere, the social media trends, etc. We do a lot. And then now you have to also encompass in the social media promotions behind it, the branding aspects of it. So public relations isn't just one particular area of focus when it comes to representing brands or businesses, etc. That's just me.
No. I agree. I totally agree. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm your source for all things publicity and exposure. I'm not a booking agent. I'm not a babysitter. I'm not an assistant. I'm not a manager. But even though we don't say these, sometimes we do take on the roles. I do book clients for certain events or gigs. But at the same time, I just suggest them to hire a manager because they'll be the ones to negotiate the rates and stuff and get you paid for that gig. But I'm not the manager. I'm simply your publicist connection to your target audience and to the media and to the press.
And then even with that, we come second to the management.
Yes.
You get what I mean? Because we still are building that brand on side of that management, on side of that team, or on side of that business. If a business is launching, we're representing that business to the full scope with their internal shareholders as well as their external. External is the customers, the media, etc. So it's not just one area that public relations can really fit in. We have a whole scope of things that we do.
Yeah,
and even the booking part of it, that's a whole entity, because technically even when we're booking for awards and stuff, that's still a booking. It's still considered that, and that's still our role as well. So we do a lot. It's not just glitz and glam and hey, we're smiling no, none of that.
No.
So when y'all booking, right? Because you know, I know jump into because I know we had that question on here, but so when y'all book, do y'all book paid events for y'all clients? Because as a publicist, or you're booking based off just exposure to the
It depends
world
on the
of
client.
media?
To me,
Right.
it depends on the client.
It's both.
Both.
Because if it's an opportunity and it's going to help elevate your brand in a way that it's needed for the campaign, and it's no pay, then you have to weigh that out with the client. Some things are booking gigs. Some things you do get paid for. If you're performing, of course you get paid for that.
That's right.
Even if you're just going onto a talk show, most cases you're getting a check for that as a talent. So it just depends. And then sometimes you might even do a club booking out of nowhere because they're calling you and they trust you versus going through other parties. So it really just depends, honestly. It depends on, like she said, the client, but it also depends on the opportunity.
Right. Okay. You have to benefit the brand.
That was some good information. So my question, yeah, a little bit. Now we're gonna get better and better.
Yeah, I still got some questions.
So my question is, because like you just said, it's such a broad area of expertise. So my question is, what made, and I want each of you to answer this question just because I think it's important for people to know, especially young people in particular, like, what made you say, like, did you just wake up and say, I want to be in public relations?
No.
Was it something of interest? Was it something, like, in your childhood that sparked you? Because, you know, it's something that you really, to me, I commend publicists because I say you really have to be a dreamer to be a publicist. You know, just because of the things that you guys have to do. So it's like, how did you know I want to be a publicist?
Well, my story is a little different. I don't know about the other people on the panel, but being a publicist was the first thing from my mind because I didn't know what a publicist was. Like, what is that?
Right.
So, a little bit about my background. I played sports. I ran track at the college level and played ball. But when that ended, this is so corny. But y'all remember the TV show The Game? Derwin and Pooch and all that? I wanted to be Deon.
Oh, okay.
Derwin had a publicist.
Right.
But by me not playing sports, I was like, well, I don't want to be an agent. How can I stay connected, you know, to be a brand's cheerleader? That's how I look at a publicist. So I started researching and majored in PR, and I got into it. I think for me, I like helping people. Like you say dreamer, I say I'm a visionary. I like helping people and executing the vision. I'm a behind the scenes person to the T. So that's why I got the PR.
Interesting to know.
Right. She was talking about, you know what? I want to be her.
And some people do that, but they just don't say
I didn't know,
that.
but I didn't know what it was. Like, I majored in it, and I'm not saying you gotta have a degree, but I did my research first, and I feel like a lot of times people just go into PR, oh, I want to be a publicist, just claiming that
Ooh, that's a whole
keyword.
nother topic.
It is, okay.
Stop.
We gonna stop. I got my experience and my education to back me up.
Okay, I'm gonna ask that on my next question. Go ahead.
Wow. I changed my degree of study like a couple times. I went from fashion because I love fashion. I was like, no, this is not, because I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And I was like, no, this is not a city for that. And at the time I wasn't thinking to move. And then I went to business and I was like, oh no, this is so boring. I can't be stuck like this, like no. And then I changed it to marketing because I was in love with everything that it encompassed. I was like, oh yes, this is me. And then I met the Army professor that was a PR rep for them. And I loved what he did. I was like, oh, I can do, that's what you do? Oh, I got that. That's easy. And I just fell in love with it from there. But even then, I wasn't expecting to go into music publicity, entertainment publicity, except no, definitely not. It really just landed in my lap when I moved here in 2005. People just thought I was either a stylist or a publicist.
Yeah, you kind of can look like one.
And then I got laid off. I was doing internal communications for JP Morgan. I got laid off. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead. And I opened my own, and it's been me since.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's basically all I did.
Oh, wow.
You said you started sophomore in college. Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, elementary school, I did morning announcements. So I was in the 90s. Black and white TV. My black self. So my brother, all my friends, they used to be like, Smokey gonna be on this morning. You know, we didn't have all the fancy color TVs that we have now. So.
I can't with this
And I was also yearbook staff. I was an editor and photographer in elementary, middle school. High school, same thing. And SGA. And I was always knowing what was going on. I always knew what was going on. Then I would play sports with everybody. I practice with everybody. And then I'd go off to handle something with yearbook. Just do whatever. So I always was in the mix.
That's you. Definitely.
Went to college and got an SGA. I was like, what can I do? Now I ain't got nothing to do. What can I do? Jumped to SGA. I won freshman year. And then I just started orchestrating from there. And I ended up having to help with BET Black College Tour.
Okay.
And talking with BET. And then was also having to do something with UNCF and the university, so they're talking to us at SGA, and I was just like, I'm dealing with their publicist, talking to this publicist. I was like, we didn't have that degree, so I was like, oh God, what am I gonna do? So I started doing a little marketing, and after that, it just went from there. Like I said, I handled Rich Boy stuff for Tuskegee, throw some D's on it. It's one of my first projects that we did help him push him, and it just went on from there. So.
And for me, it's kind of similar to Bentley. Like, a lot of my skill set in college and in high school was just all the things that you need for PR. Like, I was really good at talking, really good at meeting people, really good at writing, really good at promoting a campaign. And so when I got an opportunity at Universal Motown for a summer and got to be like under the main publicist that handled, I mean, back then, I'm so old, Lord Jesus. They was working with like Nelly, Lillie Mae. I don't know if y'all remember those people.
Did you say Nelly?
Joe. So that Juvenile. That's how long ago that was.
You know.
So I really enjoyed that work that we got. Oh, Manny Fresh. So I enjoyed like we would create, listening parties for Erykah Badu, and they would have me making media kits and escorting clients to red carpets, and all of that stuff was really exciting to me. So I was like, oh, I definitely want to do public relations, and that's how I got started.
Okay, so y'all touched on something that was one of my questions anyway, but I'm going back now. So, okay, it ain't just PR. It's every industry. Every industry. Everybody want to be everything around here. Okay, so but publicists is very popular. One of the popular ones that people are just saying, I'm a publicist. And so just from y'all opinion, what is the background for someone that they would need, or better yet, what is the advice that you would give someone who wants to be a publicist, and what do you think, recommend, like educational background, or if you don't necessarily think they need education, they need a certain type of experience. Like, what is that for them to be a good, successful publicist? That's one question. I got another one to go along with that. Or for them to even say, I'm a publicist. Like, you know, I'm a publicist, but what makes you go, ugh, and you know they ain't did that to be saying they're a publicist?
One thing that bothers me is when just a minor thing, and I'm gonna let it go in here. But one thing that just bothers me, because I'm from the old school, is when people say a PR, because there's no such thing as a PR. PR means public relations. That's the industry. So if you refer to a person in the industry, you'll say a PR professional, a publicist, a PR coordinator. So if someone's walking around referring to themselves as a PR, they, you know, are a little off base as far as the very, very, very basics of the industry. So that's just one of my pet peeves as a person that started.
Well, should I be calling y'all PRs? I guess I know.
You don't know.
That's right there.
Yeah, you didn't know. Clearing it up.
I mean,
Clearing it up.
that makes sense.
It
That
does.
makes sense.
Yes.
Clearing it
Yeah,
up.
Only because sometimes
that
people.
whole
Go ahead.
acronym in the front, I did that just because Lily, just right there, she just, you know, just had to clarify that. It's
People
so
just
good
use
to
it
see you.
sometimes in the wrong
Yeah.
places. They'll be saying that in the wrong place. You know, it's okay when you make your errors and mistakes, but you have to know how to handle yourself accordingly. And they'll be in a room full of professionals, they'll holler, yeah, I'm a PR. So you're in Puerto Rico. Jesus. You know, and what it does is, like, there are many written rules for our industry. Our industry is that of a pamphleteer. We're out really just taking the message and running to the people with it. You know what I mean? So there aren't many rules, but we have like these set social rules, but you get them under guidance. You get them under true leadership, true hard work. Sometimes it don't take a lot of guidance. It takes a lot of hard work to learn some true lessons. And so when they go out there and they say that, it really bash the people who have really got out here hands and feet and crawled and really get this thing going. You get what I'm saying?
That's what I
So
was gonna say.
we gotta have some level of respect, meaning we don't have a blueprint. But we
Man.
gotta
I
really
need to
keep
respect
that.
the publisher's shirt.
Man, because, man, yeah, we definitely do. Yeah.
Aleesha, I feel like you're holding back.
No, I'm just, you know, coming in on the right times. That's all. Sorry, no, okay, but seriously, I agree with both of my colleagues who I have not seen in so long. But also at the same time, and this is what I tell my team, I even remind myself, never stop learning.
Mm-hmm.
And we fall short because we're always handling everything for everyone else, that sometimes we forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get too complacent, period. Because our industry never, it's never one of those ones that stands still. It's always things added to it. So we always have to make sure that we're adapting as well as learning and relearning, because sometimes we have to relearn. So that's one thing. First thing, yes, we're definitely not PR. No, that title irks my nerves so bad. And just like even my buddy right here, I love him, by the way. I love all of these ones. I'm not being funny. I haven't seen them, so I'm like, oh my gosh, it's good to see y'all. But we get so involved in creating campaigns and strategies, and because it's a lot that goes behind what we do. It's an art and science. The art is how we present it, but the science behind it is still there. You know, we still have to think of different strategies. They call us at 12 o'clock at night and say, okay, we're moving on this. You have to move on it. So that's about a couple things that I would say and suggest. So
And my advice, I want to touch on what she said, because it is an art and a science. My advice to anyone that's wanting to be in the industry is to work under a credible agency.
Yes.
There are a ton of credible agencies, and all of us probably need interns.
Right.
So don't be afraid to volunteer. I feel like people want to jump, you know, out of the, whatever they say, into the frying pan,
Right.
whatever that saying is. And it's like you have to do your work by working under someone. Like, it's okay to work for free. I worked at Universal Motown for free.
man.
And they put me to work. And I paid for my own room and board in New York and my own travel up there to get the hands-on experience so that I would know how to be a professional in the public relations industry. So
That's what I was gonna say. Like, they basically took everything I was gonna say. But I do agree that it takes hard work. I do not believe that you need a degree in PR. I do have a degree in PR, but I started out in corporate America working for HP and Mesa Frankfurt. But for what I do now, Georgia State ain't teaching me all that. But what I will say is put in the hard work, get the experience. Don't be afraid to intern. Don't be afraid to shadow. I feel like a lot of times some people come to me and they want to launch their own PR firm, but you ain't got nothing. Like, what your experience at? And all this is in my book, by the way. It's just PR.com. So when I get offended is when I see somebody that is not a publicist calling themselves a publicist, like you're a party promoter. That bothers me. Or like your best friend is a celebrity, you walking down carpets and all of a sudden you're a publicist. That bothers me. I really take that word serious. So,
and not only that, we work our butts off. Let me tell you something. And I can attest to even these individuals next to me because I've seen their growth as well. Built the name from the bottom. Let's be real clear. So of course, if we take it serious, of course we accept. We should expect you to. You get what I'm saying? Especially as rising. You know. So at the end of the day, like I said, the relearning and learning is key. I don't care how you do it. It could be experience. It could be internship. It could be a mixture of all of it. Education too. I went back and got my master's in global marketing because I needed to know more. I'm challenging myself because I want to do more global projects. So it really didn't have nothing to do with nobody or me not having that experience or education. I just was like, you know what? I want to go ahead and move myself further and my brand further. And that's my focus. So,
but everybody said the same thing. They had one keyword, and it was work. A lot of people, they come over and they get to see, they see the final result. They see I finally made it to brunch. I finally got the one best picture I could get in with my client and somebody else. You know, they don't get to see all the, what you said, like the hard work, the sleepless nights. Like we're sick now and we're still having to work and perform and go handle costumes and handle parties and RSVP lists and the baby's sick and they photo shoot canceled and you know what I'm saying? We be having to do all of this. You know, it's like we like a little operator. We just plug it in. Hello, just got it. And that's what we're doing all day, every day. But we work hard for it. A lot of people that I have seen, especially the new generation coming in, they don't really want to work. They want to jump right to that carpet. And then they get to that carpet and they have no protocol. They don't understand how to do it properly. They don't know how to respond accordingly, greet people accordingly, handle certain media requests. They don't know how to do none of that. And so then it becomes a joke to the company that hired them. So now they're looking at all of us as a joke. You got to really get out and do the work. If you notice that you're not great at this, go find somebody else that's good at that, and y'all work together and partner and get that done. So you can continue to be good. You get what I'm saying? But you got to work. They don't want to really do the work.
I think it's a different level of hunger. Like in college, like I was interning and shadowing like it was nobody's business. I was on Google teaching myself how to PR, like do PR. So I think that for the new people coming in, it's just social media playing a part in it. All these followers, and all of a sudden you're a publicist because you know that's another segment. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, you guys kind of summed up some of the questions because you guys are just really into it. But with that being said, because what I'm seeing is you really earning the right for the title. That's based off of what you guys are saying. Some people just...
It's an everyday fight, baby.
Every day.
You gonna come out here and roar or you gonna sit in the house and bark. Like, it's an everyday... Only because you have multiple things. Like we're not just... Also, this panel isn't just people who have... like HP, like companies like full like with PR. We're like entrepreneurs, all of us. So like for us, we have to come out the door hollering. You get what I'm saying? We have to come out the door ready to pounce. We don't get the. We didn't come in the era either of just getting ready to say click, oh, let it go. Yeah. We came in the era of I have to pat and turn up the street to get to where I have to get to. So we understand hard work because also our predecessors show us and still are showing us hard work. It's just I think the newer people the technology is changing, and so the younger generation they don't really get it.
They're like, well, I went to school.
It's making a melee of it.
But you have to forever be a student. I don't care where you are.
You're never going to stop learning in this field. And even when I tell my teams, like, don't get complacent on even the way you write now. You know, always learn. Like, it's never a time that you can't say that you can't learn nothing new in PR. I don't care what it is. It could be about a brand, a company. It could be anything. But if you're not challenging yourself, I can't challenge you all the time, you know, for you. You have to get out there and show me too. And sometimes even I have to remind them and even myself sometimes, because it's so much going on in a day. I don't get a moment to breathe.
Yeah.
Let me breathe for a second. Or where you have to push yourself, you know what, today is my day. I'm not answering none of that.
Right.
And there was a period where I didn't do any of that. I didn't think about myself. I was being a mom. I was being a student. I was being everything to everybody. And I forgot me, like, hold up. I gotta breathe. Let me just breathe for a second. And once I recognize that, I make sure that I do that all the time now. Like, there's never a time, even if I give myself an hour a day to go to the gym or to do something goofy, I'm gonna do it because I need that. And you get me all these other times, you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, I love what I do.
So y'all sound like y'all be stressed out.
No,
I know. So, it's funny that she said
let me
something
tell you
about the
something.
challenges.
You gotta also understand, we're not just PR professionals. We own a business.
Right.
We're the accountant,
We have to make sure that our team is on point because they represent what we built.
Girl, you gotta tell me.
Let alone at the same time, we also represent
That's
clients. It's
These
not.
people are calling us
Yeah,
after
so it's
our
like,
opinions
it's
of their
not-
life. Like, where should my life go? We gotta be like, oh, okay, I don't know if you should go left. Let me look at left. Hold on. Right. Somebody check on right for me. Like, it's like we're constantly having to look ahead to make sure there's no ditches, no animals, no roadkill. No, we're always looking ahead, so we don't really get a chance to even live in our now. A lot of times, especially if we got back-to-back events. Don't let all your friends get into the event season. And it's like everybody want one. I want a brunch too. I want a brunch. Like, no. Because then it's just like we're going. And like you said, if you don't take that day, you'll be like, I ain't talking to none of y'all.
Stop.
If you don't do that, the world will.
Yeah, it's gonna eat you up.
But we're like organized. We like organized chaos.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because I love what I do. Don't get
We
me
know how to
wrong.
come in the house like your grandma and be like,
Right.
and clean this thing in 15 minutes flat. You know what I mean? Like.
So as y'all talking, I think what you gonna ask them? They talked because they're basically you guys are talking about that. So I want to take you guys back to the beginning when you first started out. Because now you guys have the brands, you have the businesses, you know, all of those things. But what were the challenges that you faced when you first started out
to get to this
to get to where you are now?
I think everybody can agree to just prove yourself. Like, yeah, we're taking on these free clients, but at the same time, you just have to put in the work. The challenges for me when I started out at PR, it was just proving myself. Because like I said, I was in college majoring in PR. I didn't really know, but I was on Google interning, shadowing, following other PR firms, like what they doing, let me see, doing the research. So I think it's just proving your worth. And then also, this is just for me. One of the challenges I faced was trying to do all types of PR. I did not have a niche, so I came off as chaotic and unprofessional because I was trying to represent anybody that would give me a chance, but I didn't have a focus. I didn't have a focus-based clientele. So when I decided my niche, then that's when the revenue came in and, you know, other people started to see what I really did. That's just for me.
That was good.
For me, it was all of the above and then some. More so, yes, proving myself. And it really wasn't for proving myself to the outside world more so. It was more so me. I wanted to challenge myself, but at the same time prove that I know that this is the lane that I was supposed to be in.
That's good.
So that was one thing that I kept in my mind, and I still keep that in my mind. Another thing is I affirmed everything that I wanted. I spoke it, and I made sure I spoke it all the time. If this is what I am, this is what I'm going to show you I am. And I promise I'm going to show you that. And it took me just getting my mind set to that, to where I really just started grinding. Some things was bartering. Some things was, you know, you do this for me, and I do this for you, and then you do, you know, it got to that point. But once that first Wright project came in line, the rest was just history. I kept focused on that, and I never listened to too much of the outside noise. even the doubters, I just kept my focus on what I wanted to prove that I could do this. And it wasn't even just about PR. Like, we also have to establish a name, a network, relationships. We have to do, it's not even just smiling or glitz and glim. No, we have to really show that we are in tune to what we say and we're doing. So if they come to you and say, what was the last 5 placements that you got? And if you can't say it off the top of your head, something's wrong, period. And I tell even consultations that if they cannot say that, then you need to question. You need to question more. So that's it took a lot. Like, it's so funny because now I'm thinking about it's crazy because I was just on go mode. I didn't sleep a lot, but I loved it because I was building a business too.
But I think that is common, especially when you first starting out. Because I've actually been an entrepreneur for 12 years and running several businesses. And you know, when you're truly passionate about something and you want to be the best in it, and I call it a standard of excellence because that's what you're talking about. You start out a career and you set an expectation for yourself of excellence. Right. So when you're doing that, that's what you get. You get the grind. You get the sleep. You don't get no sleep. You're constantly studying and doing all those different things to elevate yourself, to make you the best. And you're not competing with nobody. You're competing with yourself.
But the funny part is you're only talking about one area of your life. You still have every other area that you have to elevate as well. And that's even the colleagues that's sitting up here. I commend all of them. I haven't seen them in a while because we all in our lane working. It's nothing, no offense to them, no offense to me. It's just we're in our mode. And not only that, when you're growing as an adult, period, and you're like, okay, I want to go to the next level, you know, you tend to lose out on a lot of life stuff. But at the same time, like I said, I know that they love what they do. I love what I do. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I get to wake up and do what I do every day. I get to set my own time.
That's right.
I get to do things that. Right.
But that's good though.
Like, even today, don't be funny. I was late, but I was late because I'm in the middle of projects dropping. Literally, like, I'm in album campaigns, I'm in launches, like, I'm in and I got in my mode and start prepping for my week, and I lose track of time all the time. Like, oh wait, hold up. Okay, let me get ready to go. So I was late here just because I was in my mode, but like I said, I love what I do. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And that's how my business grew, is because they saw that I love what I do. And the referrals started coming, the companies started calling, etc. And that's where I'm at, and that's where I want to be, and that's where I'm taking my company, which is more global.
Okay, mister.
Okay, what challenges coming in? Okay. Honestly, I would say this. It was more so of development and growth, especially for entrepreneurs, and also especially for this particular niche. As a kid, I used to always say I was going to run my own business. I couldn't work for nobody. But then, we say that, and then the parents hear it, but no one manifests that. Right. So the kid now has to figure out how to become what he said he wanted to do, because I refuse to deal with somebody's kids. So nope, not a teacher. So as you figure this thing out, especially kids who are serious about what they want to do. Right. So like I said, I stayed in yearbook. I stayed in morning announcements, so I knew how to write. I knew how to orchestrate people and bring characteristics and stuff. So there's no other development, especially getting grown and then getting into public relations like in college. There's no development for us. There is like PR essays and stuff, but that's not really niche to the struggles of black entrepreneurs. You know what I mean? Because if there was a group that was centered for that, honestly, truly, who actually was able to nurture us, I think there would be a powerhouse. Because if we're all out here figuring out and we are successful now, what if we had hit that and then jumped out of that into the world? Where would we have been? There is no true cultivation system for us. That is a struggle, because then in that, like she said, you're working on one area of your life. You still got to learn how to network with people. You still got to know how to go out here and secure good business. You still got to know how to go out and pitch business. Still got to know how to make the people smile at you like your post. Still got to. So it's like you got so many things that you're learning while you also got 5 clients and everybody's like debating at the same time. Money's good, business looks amazing. You stress because we never really also learned how to start the business and do time management with that too. So we having to learn all this at one time.
Right.
So cultivation and development has, I think, it really would have hindered us versus more of other colleagues. Like we don't have a lot of Fortune 500 companies that are black, especially ones that are willing to just grab out of and get those ones that are pushing. You know what I mean? So it just kind of holds us back to a degree. And I think with that, I think our industry could excel. That's like one of the biggest challenges that I face is that cultivation part. Because then we're gonna learn each other through events, through clients hiring each other, hiring us all together, over our heads, under our heads. You know what I mean? So that's how we have to learn how to learn each other versus it being some kind of you go here, you know what I'm saying, kind of system. So.
Yeah, one of my big challenges early on was learning to say no to a potential client because they'll be like, oh, that chick look good, I know I can do the project, but then the client might be a nightmare. So it was hard for me to say no to a check, like, especially when you're an entrepreneur and bills have to be paid and then there's a big check here. Even if the energy is off, you might say yes, and then it ends up being like way, cost you more in peace and all types of things. So that was a challenge for me, just learning to say, I can't take that project. Let me send you over here to Bentley. He might can handle it.
I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, at the moment, we are at capacity. There's a list. Click the link for the list of referrals.
So let's talk about it. So at what point
Cold calling.
do someone, say for instance myself, like I don't know, say for instance us, we got a talk show. How does a person determine when they need a publicist? What are those criteria that you think that they need to look at and be like, you know what, I grew to this level that I need a publicist?
I say from the very beginning when you get that idea, and you yourself have put into some work to solidify yourself first as a business, so that way we can take you serious. I can take you somewhere. Somebody to think you're serious. And then from there, because we can help you strategize. A lot of times people miss some of their greatest ideas because they try to bring on PR at public relations at the end, when it should have been brought in at the beginning. You get what I'm saying? We're always an afterthought of the process, but we're also the strategizers. You get what I'm saying? We're the weatherman telling you, okay, next week Wednesday is going to be a storm. We're telling you that this is about to happen. You should go do this season happens here. But by the time we come in, you don't get put money over here, put money over here. So our resources, we're tight, we're thin, and we can only work within a set time period. I think they need to consider it at the beginning, and that could be even in consultation form. You don't have to bring them on into full retainer, but just bring them on into consistent consultation meetings and let the publicist know what you want to do, because you can't go in and say, okay, I want to bring you on for a retainer, and they give you their price and you're not ready. Just say what it is that you need. I have an idea. I really want to see how this thing could grow, because I don't want to invest in this and it can't grow, and I'm only me working in this. Get the consultation and then go from there. You understand? Especially if you find a publicist that you like and they already working in the industry that you're projecting into. You definitely want to do that because it helps you out. It'll save you in the long run. We have to come in, and we come in with brooms and dustpans with our first day. We don't get to come in and sit to the table. We have to come in and begin to sweep and clean, because half the time there's always a fire over here about to start. This one just got put out. Matches over here, lighter fluid over here. So bring us in early. The earlier the better.
I agree, actually, and to add to that, I would say when you have a budget to invest, not like I need my $1,000 back tomorrow, I don't need my $2,000 back by the end of the week. No, it's not how PR works. PR is an investment. So when you have your coins up to where you can invest for a couple of months, because it's not an overnight process, unless you Beyonce, of course, then I can get you on Forbes magazine tomorrow. But, otherwise, it's like you have to have the budget to invest, because it's more of a long stretch. PR is like it's not like what is it? It's not like a
microwave.
Yeah, it's not a microwave. It's like put it in the oven on 350, let it simmer. It's like a casserole. So it
it's
takes
a marathon,
time.
not a sprint.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you. So knowing that, I just feel like, before you call Lillie Mae PR, have a couple coins in the pocket.
Yeah, a budget.
Most importantly, yeah.
I agree to a certain degree. I said this in a podcast I did before. I don't mind helping you from the beginning, but me personally, if you haven't done anything and you want me to I can't publicize an idea. I need you to put in the work first and then come to me. That's like you saying, well, Deidre, I want to start a natural hair care line. Okay, well, let me send you to my client, the business babe, who can get a business plan together and give you the resources. Then when you develop that product, then you can come to me. Let's get it in the hands of bloggers and journalists. So for me, put in the work first before you come to me with an idea. So that's just me.
You get your finder's fee.
Yeah, so that's for me. And then of course have the budget. Don't expect results in the first 2 weeks, especially if you ain't done anything and nobody knows you.
We
but
can't
you
go
want
to Georgia Power with your bright idea.
We can't go to Georgia Power with your bright idea, or sometimes your name. I'm sorry, Georgia Power can't take your name. I wish they could. If that's the case, I wouldn't have to pay bills, but I do.
And to Deidre's point too, she mentioned like, you know, expecting results in 2 weeks and nobody knows your name. I think sometimes people want to get, you know, Black Enterprise, Essence Magazine, and all of these things without having a brand that's recognizable. And so they don't understand that there's value in local blogs, there's value in local media, local TV, local radio. Like you don't have to jump to Good Morning America and USA Today by the end of this week. Like you have to build up. I myself, I've been featured on Huffington Post and Black Enterprise, but I value local outlets. If a local outlet want to interview me about PR or anything, I'm there.
Because you're here, girl.
I'm here.
But that's the thing though.
Like it's value in everything. You never know who's watching this.
That's right.
Who's looking at the local blog, and so a lot of people undermine the value of local press.
That's right.
Even be newsworthy across the board. Like what I'm saying is, I've had people come to me, nobody know, like you ain't got nothing, like, and you want to be on Good Day Atlanta, but Lillie Mae's blog don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you just have to be newsworthy, because as a publicist, it's not just what we get from the media, that we have to give them something tangible and creative too.
Now I'm gonna talk on that point because you know we're in the media, and you know. They, you know, some of these people wants to come get interviewed, you know. Then we be looking at their bios and we be like, well, what are we asking them? You ain't, well, how long you been in business? Well, what do you know that I can interview you? And they just think, oh, because I want to get interviewed, that you can just come sit in my seat. You got to have something, same way that you can give me. You know, it's crazy, but I just had
well, because I woke up this morning, I deserve an interview.
Right.
No, it doesn't go like that.
And sometimes though, a publicist can help you become newsworthy.
Yes.
There's been times where someone might have a basic hair product, and I dig a little bit into their history and like, okay, this ties into domestic violence, or, you know, breast cancer awareness, and people lose their hair. Your hair product make the hair grow back. You know, so sometimes a publicist can help you become newsworthy if you don't yet know like how to become newsworthy or how to, you know, grab the attention of a media outlet. That's a good reason to have a publicist.
And we don't generate sales.
Yes.
That's the biggest misconception. We are not salesmen.
As soon as you hire,
we are here to get the word out to your target audience, to your target consumers, if it's business to business, whatever it may be, but we're not salesmen. We do not sell tickets. We do not pooch people to sell tickets. We don't do none of that with tickets. We may tell them where to go, but that's about it. That's the bare minimum. We're not salesmen. That is the biggest thing.
Are y'all promoters? Because I guess that's the other question. I wish we...
Well, I would say we're glorified promoters. I would say this is why. Because, one, we have to promote the word out. So if you want to be a technical. But I say what we do is more specialized, it's more niche. If you're hiring us, I can say the generalization, to handle just media relations, get me some media, we got to promote to the media to get them there, but it's only niche. Promoters are just like, hey, everybody, here it is.
We more than just a flyer on Instagram.
But even with that, that's not really even you. I mean, us getting into the media really is not promotion as well. You know, that's only one part of it. We build your story.
It's relationships.
We're building your story based on your story. So it's not even a matter of promotion. It's if you're going to call it promotion, then you need to say strategic promotion.
I would say glorify girl because
day,
it be relationship. We be
that's
done built
what it
that thing up good to where we can just say, here, I would like for you to come. I would like reality. Like it be relationship because it's not easy. Because then when our clients see these events and stuff, they want to see who we built relationships with. You know what I mean? That's how you get the gist out of the project, is the relationship. And whether that particular company or a particular person or entity can actually perform that relationship. Like you said, it's not really the, what you said is not the marathon?
Oh, PR is not a marathon. I mean, PR is not. Shoot. PR is not a sprint. It's a marathon.
People, you gotta understand that it's not like you just can't jump into it and rush and get like a quick microwave thing. It's a time progress thing. That's relationship building, introducing your brand to who it needs to be introduced to, aligning your brand to what it needs to be aligned to, putting it in the rooms it needs to be put. That's all like strategy. That takes time. You get what I'm saying? It's not something that you can just rush and do. So.
Okay.
So
time, patience.
Speaking of time, how are we doing on time?
I don't got the time.
We need the time, but because I mean, you guys are giving some really good information, and I just want to, one thing that I want to ask before we get out of here, because I know we're going out of time.
Like 15 more minutes.
So, because we touched on it for a minute, but. For those who don't know, because many people, like we said, they get it confused, a manager and a publicist. Like, they think that you guys are just the go-to person for everything. So, clarify for the viewers, because I think so many people get that confused. They might have a manager, and then they may hire you guys as a publicist, and then you end up doing your job and the manager's job. Like, what should a manager be doing, and what should a publicist be doing?
Like, spit it out, like, outline. Like, I know it's a niche,
right?
You know, or whatever. It depends on the client and the industry. But just name some things that a manager should be doing, and what are some things your publicist should be doing in layman terms?
Well, I'll give an example. If my client is a hip hop artist, the manager should work it out for him to be performing at hip hop awards. As the publicist, I will be pushing it out that he's performing at hip hop awards. But like Aleesha said, sometimes we book those things, so we work together.
I'm like, that's really more so also even on the PR side. That's like, because that's still exposure. But put it like this: a manager manages your overall career. Mm-hmm. We manage the image of it, the whole image of it itself. The manager molds you and develops you for the career. We mold and develop your image overall based on your niche. So if you're an artist, like she said, we're not only looking at just the music that you're putting out. We're also looking at what other entities that we can use to build that brand up, to enhance that brand and elevate it, whether it be a fashion component, beauty component. We pretty much manage your image overall.
So like
we're building your story, your manager actually just put it together, and we're building the nuts and bolts in that story based off of the brand that was given to us.
So if you're an artist, who do artist development? The manager or the publicist?
Of course, the manager should.
Okay. Okay.
The manager also handles contracts, negotiations, finding your producers, maybe even finding your publicists. You know,
I was going to say they do
lawyer interactions with the lawyer. Right. So, like she said, like all of that extra stuff is the manager's job, the day to day.
But then, even with some of that stuff, say the lawyers, say if there's a crisis, you will be communicating with the lawyer and the manager.
So, for the most part,
a publicist, we are the middle ground of it. We are the medium. Even with some, like now you got branding part of PR now. I do brand partnerships and endorsements. I negotiate those contracts, period. Now when it comes to something that I know that my client is not going to accept, then sometimes, every now and then, the manager comes in. Or every now and then the lawyer comes in and steps in and just puts that an extra oomph on it. Other than that, the manager, again, manages the entire career, the entire life cycle of that brand. We manage the image of that life cycle. We clean up that image. We enhance, we elevate it. So we're like the two parts. Put it like this: the manager is one part of the engine, we are that other part. We're that gas that keeps it fueling on a long-term spectrum as far as exposure, communication, being a liaison, communicating your message even if you don't even know your message. We build that message for you because it's on behalf of your brand. That's what we do. We are like the magicians behind your quote-unquote manager.
Okay. So when I look at that, okay, so I think I'm getting it. So, like, for instance, you guys gave an artist as the example. So if I'm an artist, then my manager would be the one, I got the music and all that, but then my publicist would take it way a step further and say, yeah, but you have a nice build, you're tall, I can put you over here so you can reproduce more income because since you're tall, you can model for Calvin Klein. Does that kind of make sense?
I guess
you know what I'm saying? Like, because the artist,
because honestly, if you got the connection, do your thing.
Yeah.
But to add to,
I'm saying you would see that in that person.
We see
as
the
a publicist.
vision. Yeah, we see other elements
and take the vision to a whole nother level. Not just keeping them at the artist level.
We're building their brand.
It's
not just about them being an artist. We're building a brand.
Okay.
And most people forget that. Even with the artists out now, they want this hit, this everything. That's what's about. I want to be trending on social media, et cetera, et cetera. But keep in mind, on a long-term basis, you should be wanting to build a brand.
Yeah, so I got it. So that means I got it. I did get it.
Okay, so we got to get this question. This is a good one. Okay. How much it cost? So, I don't know. And I don't want to hear it depends on the client because I know it depends on the client. But what is the average cost?
There is no such thing of an average cost.
It isn't.
There is no such thing of that. Get that out of your head right now.
Okay.
There is no such thing. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on experience. It depends on even the market that they're in. It depends on, oh gosh, your project yourself, the type of campaign that they will classify you as. Grassroots campaigns are more expensive than, let's say, one that you really just got to come in and kind of just put the oomph on. So it really depends. It's not a set price. There's no such thing of that. There's no such thing of that. So it can average. I can tell you right now, oh, you're going to be $10,000 a month, but I will base it on my experience, where I'm at, what you're telling me. I will look at everything, the niche, the sector of business that you're in, and then my time, my connect. I mean, it's so much that goes into what it costs. So there's no such thing as a set price. Sorry.
What's a good number if you had to give it? A good number to start off with.
Who?
For basic.
Like if somebody wanted to come to you for PR,
And
what are you willing to take?
It depends on.
You ain't gonna take no $300.
Hell no.
Okay then.
That's what I'm saying. Because you got people like that. That's what I'm saying. So the understanding of that, because you know.
How about this?
People
Ask
don't
the
understand.
PR professional what was their last 5 placements, and then that will tell you what kind of budget that you might have.
Okay, well then you keep saying that. They don't even know what a placement is. So
Okay. But I'm just saying, sometimes they'll ask that, or sometimes I even get this: who are all your clients? That is not even.
Define for people.
What
This is
number
an
should you work with?
This is an educational show.
Right.
Okay, so define for other people. When you say placement, what do you mean? Like, what is a placement? I mean, come on, like, what is a placement?
Placement is
What-
a media placement.
Okay.
A feature, a cover story, on a top tier blog.
So an example. Give me some examples. What was your last 5 placements? See,
I'm messing with you because I'm thinking of what client.
Yeah, I wasn't waiting.
I'm just saying,
what
like,
you talking about.
right? So Fuse, Vogue, let's see, Complex. I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? It just depends on what. Yeah.
So
it just depends on the.
So somebody might think a publicist costs. Somebody might think, okay, well, it's time for me to get a publicist, right? And I'm gonna go talk to somebody, and I'm thinking, $500 is a good amount of money. $1,000 is a good amount of money to say, okay, this is my budget for a publicist, would they be able to hire a publicist at $500,000?
They need to contact that
retainer?
organization and see how they can square away a meeting for a consultation, and then let that consultation be where they go and ask all their questions before they get out here and be embarrassed. Let's talk about I have $500.
But that's what I'm saying.
You know, but my thing is this. But see, this is my thing. So there are some events where they say, "Hey, I just need one outlet. I have $300. I have interns, and they're working for free. That's their little stipend. Somebody want to go secure an outlet, I let them get that so they can learn and go about their business. You understand? Now that's not something that I would represent as far as on my company page, but there's a lot of times that I do help those younger ones understand how to handle business and make relationships, because you never know where that's going to go at. But do not approach a full-time publicist and with a company with $500 talking about retainer.
Right. So
That's not even enough for Chinese food.
Back to something he said earlier. That's what I was gonna say actually. If you have a couple of $100 as your PR budget, use that for a consultation.
Yes.
We have paid consultations by the hour where we'll come in and we'll say, Deonta, this is how you can do this on your own.
I wouldn't even know y'all had nothing worth $100. Y'all do have consultations.
Of course.
For a couple $100.
Public relations is just
I'm
like
trying to figure it out.
having a public relations specialist or practitioner is just like having a lawyer. You get what I'm saying? Just how you pay that lawyer their little consultation fee, you got to pay your publicist their consultation fee. Just how you have to set up those meetings with their lawyer, you got to do the same exact thing with your publicist. They're like hand in hand on a lot of things, especially in operating facets, so people can understand also where we stand at and where we stay at. You know what I'm saying? Because people think, like you said, people think we're supposed to go pick up the dog, pick up the boo-boo, pick up the baby, pick up the... No. You get what I'm saying? I do X, Y, and Z, and that's that. You get what I'm saying? But that's just how it is. You get what I'm saying? So when you do approach them in the same manner. Don't approach them, especially hard working ones. It's hard for us when we be trying our best to reach back into our black business, and then they approach us with $500 and get offended when we say we work hard to get past that level. You know what I mean? So
would a new publicist charge $500?
I hope not.
Well, you're gonna get what you pay for. Like you said earlier, like do your research on like the who the people are.
Do your research.
You're gonna get what you pay for, but don't be offended when somebody says, "Oh no, I can't do nothing with that." They just their business. Walmart just can't sell you that. Go to Kmart now. You get what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. But that's also like offensive. Like you want to go in, you want to be respectful, you want to see what their company is about. You want to schedule a meeting. You got to interview them about your brand and product should be so precious. You got to figure out who you trying to give it to. You get what I'm saying?
And that's another thing.
You just don't go out here just doing that.
Research the firm that you're trying to work with. Research their clients. Ask questions.
I had people who waited. They came to me, scheduled a consultation, and they waited 3 years and said, "All right, we ready."
Well, my rates probably went up
and they were ready. You get what I'm saying? And they were ready. You get what I'm saying? So I was kind of like, oh, what? That kind of took me back, and they actually still my client to this day. You know what I mean? But that's kind of like random. But you got to be ready when you're ready to just, because it's an investment. You know what I mean? It's like there's a thing right now says like you got to pay to play. Yeah, you have to invest into your brand in order to get that to come back to you.
So let me say this before we get out of here. So I'm a social media person. I got millions of followers, and I've been on every talk show you can think of, and they want me on reality TV. Why do I need a publicist? I'm going to pay this publicist $1,000. What are they going to do for me?
Because it's all about strategy. If you don't have no strategy, where you going? Without a vision of people with what? Perish. Like, you have to understand where you're going. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, seriously, because people take us for a joke.
Right.
So we're sitting here.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. That's why I
human calendars.
I'm going to ask you, okay, just being that social media influencer, that's interested in reality TV, what's next on reality TV? What purpose will that reality TV show do for you? How are you taking advantage of it? That's what we do.
Okay.
And then what's in your pipeline? Because this cannot be the only egg you have to carry in this basket. You got to have several eggs you're ready for. You get what I'm saying? Can they all pop, like you said, at the same time, simultaneously, back to back, to keep you trending?
Because just
because
what is your trending TV market? Don't mean that they're going to care about you in the media.
Exactly. You got to have a plan. Like Cardi B is a great example.
Like, just because
Yeah,
of
that's
that.
why I said that, because I look at some of them like her, and
She
it's
got
like
publicists.
she does
Yes,
have
she
a
does.
publicist, but it's like, okay, what is her publicist doing?
What do you mean?
Her publicist got her. Well,
No, I'm saying based off that, I'm just giving that as an example.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? For somebody that comes in like her, and they say, okay, it's time for me to get a publicist. So I blew up. So when somebody like her sits down with a publicist, it's like, okay, what can you do for me that I did not do for myself? It's what I'm saying.
But technically, she did not do it by herself. She did it with a team.
Right.
And part of that team was a publicist. So she
Okay,
did not
so that's
do it
why I
by
said that.
herself.
Okay,
She
gotcha.
did it with a
Right on my mouth. Have a team in place. Period.
So the publicist was part of the team, so
Yeah,
that
of
makes
course.
sense.
Yes.
So
Of
maybe people
course.
can get a click, because people need to know
People
this.
need to know. That's why we had y'all on here. This is a trending
I'm not
topic.
But you know what? It's
This
good
is
to
a
have
trending
I
topic.
feel like once you're a social media influencer, it's good to have a publicist because as we keep saying, we're the keys to your exposure. We're the keys to reaching your target audience. But at the same time, don't depend on the followers. Because I've had people come to me saying, okay, well, I don't need a publicist right now because I got 2 million followers. But when your page got hacked, now you crawling back.
But even
Right.
with that, even with the followers, what is your focus?
That's what I'm
What's
saying.
your focus
Like, don't
behind
depend
your
on-
brand?
don't
You can
depend on
come
those
to me and tell
followers.
me that you got 2 million followers, and I'm going to tell you, and
And exactly. What else? What's next?
what are you doing with those 2 million followers? How are you
Exactly.
turning those into ROIs?
Dollars.
You got some money.
How are you turning
got some,
those
because
into
you know a
money?
lot of these folk got followers, but they ain't
But
got
how
no.
are you turning those followers into money? What are you doing as far as a business?
They don't even know what to do with them.
So,
I need some
Well,
followers.
y'all just took my example, just tore her all the way down. So, honey, if you're out there, make sure you got it together when you come see these folks.
These folk, baby, you better have it together. And you help your about to have it together. This was really fun.
It
Did
was.
y'all enjoy yourself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we do all day, every day anyway.
According to y'all, shoot. Y'all don't never get to laugh. I'm glad y'all got some laughs in today. We are glad
It's live every day.
These group chats.
we glad y'all was able to get some laughs in today. We did a reunion, like
Right.
right. And we did this reunion. Oh my God.
Tune in for season 2.
Part 2, right? Part 2. So, okay, so getting out of here. Okay, let's say this. Thank you. Because y'all are busy. Y'all got clients. No, we researched that y'all got some real clients. You know, so y'all got some real clients. Y'all doing some big things. So, you know, we know that this was very special for y'all to even have the time or take the time to come sit in our little area. You know, we're just growing in our area, and to come and have this conversation, and we appreciate it. Why? Because this is trending. Because people say, I'm a PR. I learned something today, right?
Exactly.
So hopefully some of the viewers learned something today as well. So if you was thinking about getting a publicist and you got a little bit of change, you know, and you got, you know, your business together,
A valid product.
a valid product or service, then you have 4 people up here that you can reach out to.
Knowledgeable.
That can take your brands to another level, right? And then you got a better understanding of what a publicist actually does, because again, a lot of people do not know or did not know. So I hope this helped them out. Y'all was very knowledgeable. So before we get ready to get out of here, let's leave us out with some advice.
About the Christmas party.
Oh Lord. Okay, leave out something with them out there with some advice, and make sure you tell them if they would like to hire one of y'all, because you know it might be somebody out there that got the coins, they ready, and they might need one of y'all on their team. So tell them how they can find you, and then we'll get ready to get out of here.
Sure. So my piece of advice would, definitely at the very minimum be willing to invest in a consultation, a paid consultation. My website is LillieMayPR.com. It's the country spelling, and you can email me PR@LILLIEMAEPR.com. Also, I do offer some business development for entrepreneurs, so I would encourage you to visit glamboss.org for some of that development.
Before you start, girl, you got a event.
Oh, I
Thursday,
do. Yes.
And you didn't plug yours too. Okay.
So, yeah, she's right. Speaking of entrepreneur development, we have the Glambitious Conference in Atlanta this Thursday, November 1st. It's mainly going to be women, but we welcome the fellas as well because we have a ton of panelists, speakers, vendors. We're going to be talking about how to make six figures from your passion. We're going to discuss investing, building real estate wealth, paying off student loans, getting the credit together, just every facet of being a successful entrepreneur. For tickets, please visit glambitious.eventbrite.com. Thank you so much for mentioning that.
Girl, I got the logistics together.
So my piece of advice would be, it's never too late to dream. I feel like our dreams are not just given to us just for our imaginations. It's for us to get out here and fulfill our heart's desires. So just get with the right person that can help you make your dream come to life. And that's where you go from there, especially with your entrepreneurial businesses and ventures. You can find me online, www.thebentleydidierfirm.com. Everything social media at the Bentley Didier Firm. We're based here in Atlanta, work out in Los Angeles as well, and Las Vegas, Miami, and New York. With sis in Miami. So yes, everything at the BentleyDidierFirm.com.
Okay. How can I compete with them two? Jeez. I'm playing. I agree with actually both of your advice. The other thing would be just never stop learning. No matter the sector of business you are in, never stop learning. And yes, be ready to invest when you come see us. And that's just investing in your overall brand. Social media, the company KAC Images PR. Mine is Aleesha CPR, that's ALEESHA. KACImagesinYou.net is the website. Follow us, connect with us there. I give tips all day on several of my social media platforms, and I usually respond. Timing wise, I might be a bit off sometimes, but it's because I'm busy if that's the case. But you can find me there.
Okay.
I would say, as far as advice, just respect the industry, respect the publicists, respect the PR industry. The reason why I say that is because one of the biggest billionaires in the world, he respects it, and it was Bill Gates. He said, if I had $1 left, I'd spend it on PR. So that lets you know how valuable the industry is and how valuable we are. You can find me online, www.Maylee Media, that's MAYLEE Media, named after my grandmother, I love you. And also, It's Just PR, get my book, I'm not playing. Everything Maylee Media is just PR. And yes, I do have an event coming up, MogulCon. It is our 3rd annual business conference for African American women. It's November 8th through the 10th, and you cannot miss this event. If you're trying to increase your clients, your connections, your cash flow, you need to be there. And that's mogulcon.com.
Well, there you have it.
Well, right then. Well, so if you want to be on the Women's Business Corner, tax season is getting ready to come. We can take care of your taxes. I'm a business strategist, so I can get you together and get your brand all polished up for these publicists. Reach me on all social media outlets at Gwennetta Wright and at GwennettaWright.com. And make sure you're following Gwen Business Corner so that you can get all this information. We'll be bringing more professionals up here so that we can keep you educated at Gwen Business Corner on all social media outlets. And make sure to check our website out at www.gwenbusinesscorner.com. And for Deonta to tell you how to find her, we also have a nonprofit organization called Reach for Your Dreams, Inc. We getting ready on December 9th to do our 10th annual toy giveaway and dinner where we give away 1,000 toys and feed 1,000 families in our hometown. Support us. We're doing a campaign called Give 10, and you can donate $10 to help us with one meal and one toy for a family by Cash Apping us at R4YD or PayPaling us at Reach For Your Dreams. We are a 501c3. It can be tax deductible, but you can hit me up for those questions.
Well, I will just keep it simple tonight, and you could just go and find me at therealdeontayb.com or all social media outlets at therealdeontayb. And we're just happy that you guys were able to join us. We wish you guys continued success in all of your endeavors, and we just want to thank you for being here at GBC.
No, thank y'all.
Thank you. We out.
Bye.
Bye.